Who has never heard the phrase, "I prefer animals to people"? Does anyone still prefer animals after having a dangerous moment with a beast? Unfortunately, I don't have that answer, but I can show you several reasons not to be an idiot with animals. I'll show you dumb moves like a Japanese woman who ran away from a hungry Komodo dragon on a TV show, or a girl who decided to pose for a photo next to a grumpy peacock. In this video recorded in Ganderbal, a district in northern India, some wildlife officials are having a huge job capturing a leopard. It's hard to understand what their strategy is, because there's an official standing right in front of the animal who almost gets attacked, running away like an athlete and nearly becoming the feline's dinner. Then, another official tries a very creative approach and taps the leopard on the head with a tree branch. What happens next? He falls to the ground with a super lazy attack from the leopard, almost becoming the cat's lunch. Then, a bunch of people join in and start hitting the leopard with tree branches until they finally subdue it. It almost looks like an action movie scene, but with way more chaos and much less success. Here, a rhinoceros was minding its own business when suddenly a car pulls up nearby. The strangest thing is that the vehicle was painted with zebra stripes all over. The mammal gets really annoyed at the intrusion on its peaceful moment and attacks the car with its horns. Look, I'm not sure I disagree with the animal's reaction, because I also get irritated when my peace is disturbed. The car flips over and the driver ends up upside down, probably terrified and fearing for his life. The rhinoceros wastes no time and delivers several horn hits to the vehicle, which goes rolling around. Little by little, the car gets completely crushed and the damage is huge. At one point, another car also painted with zebra stripes arrives to try to rescue the first one, which is probably dizzy from so much spinning. The rhinoceros then decides that things have gone far enough and stops the game. The driver of the second car steps on the gas and starts chasing the mammal away from the scene. In the end, the man from the first car appears, climbs out of the vehicle, and fortunately he's fine. You've probably noticed that Japan is kind of another world, right? It's not just a country, it's a place full of weirdness, just like Australia is full of dangerous animals. And I'll prove it to you with a video. In this challenge, a person dressed up as a lion basically just has to touch a real lion. Sounds simple, right? The lion is released, and the person in the costume starts circling around it. But then things get weird when we realize there's not just one lion, but several lionesses around. Well, the man starts crawling toward a lioness, who doesn't seem thrilled about it. He freezes and turns into a statue because the female approaches and lies down near him. It doesn't look like it's going to be easy, and he just realized it. During the challenge, the guy gets hit by a lioness, starts limping, is chased by the big cats, and tries several times to approach them without success, until he finally manages to touch one lioness lightly. Oh, I forgot to mention all the animals in the pride are trained, but they're still dangerous. 5 years ago, a British newspaper published a video titled "Dramatic Moment: Gang of Monkeys Attacks Man in Northern India." The footage, which was captured by security cameras, shows a guy parking his motorcycle and then walking down the street. So far, so good, right? But then, out of nowhere, a monkey jumps on his back, and soon others start attacking him from all sides like a coordinated assault. The man falls to the ground, and the monkeys latch onto his body, attacking him from all angles. They bite the poor guy, but fortunately he manages to shake off the monkey pack. According to reports, the victim suffered cuts and scratches and even had to undergo rabies treatment. Imagine the scare. If the daily grind wasn't enough, he also had to face a gang of monkeys. This attack was posted by the victim himself. According to him, he was camping alone with the tent closed. No worries, until he opened the tent and found an angry bear right there, still roaring menacingly. Alone and terrified, the man quickly zipped up the tent again. But even so, the animal didn't back off. The bear started swiping at the tent, nearly tearing it apart, while the guy screamed from inside. It looked like a horror movie scene. The bear even managed to rip open part of the tent. Then, the man got a sudden burst of courage and stuck his head out of his hiding place. Luckily, the bear was already gone. In the video's caption, he wrote, "It's better not to camp alone." But look, he should know that bears rarely attack humans unless they're hungry, protecting their cubs, get startled, or when people invade their territory. Either way, here's a tip. It's probably best not to camp alone, right? A lucky tourist escaped a lion attack thanks to a zookeeper. In my opinion, this guy wouldn't have even needed the employee's help if he simply hadn't gotten so close to the lion in such a direct way. In the video, you can see a red bus stopped near a pride of lions, full of tourists eager to see the animals. But then two of the bravest guys decide to get off the bus and face the big cats up close. The guy in the white and green jacket gets really close to the lion, and the other one, wearing black pants, has his leg swiped by the lion's paw, almost falling or getting bitten. The keeper quickly appears and stops the lion from continuing its game. But seriously, it doesn't look very smart to be near carnivores that size, even for the thrill. Yeah, I bet that lucky tourist will think twice before trying to take a picture with a lion next time. This happened in Thailand about 1 year ago. A housewife named Tin, 50 years old, was cooking outside her home when she was attacked by a 3.5-meter reptile that slithered right up to her. Security cameras show the deadly reptile, which has enough venom in one bite to kill a human in under 1 hour, approaching Tin menacingly while her back was turned. When the snake made its first strike, the woman ran into the yard, panicked. Imagine the fright. She had to act fast and luckily managed to escape. Now, I bet she thinks twice before cooking outdoors. Let's go back to that parallel universe that is Japan. This time, the challenge is to test the speed of a brave woman against a hungry Komodo dragon on a TV show. It sounds like a harmless game, right? The woman, named Ayako Imoto, is wearing a kimono, waiting for the lizard to get very close to her. And it's not just any lizard. This creature can run up to 20 kilometers per hour, almost double the speed of a fit human. But it gets tense because Ayako has food attached to her by a rope, and the animal is starving. As soon as the Komodo dragon catches the scent of food, Ayako takes off running for her life, since the animal can attack at any moment. Although Komodo dragon attacks on humans are rare, when they do happen, they're often fatal, so the woman runs like crazy, passing by other production staff until they finally manage to capture the reptile before anything worse happens. It looks like Ayako won the race, and I think Japanese viewers never get bored with these kinds of antics. It's not just in Japan that people do crazy stuff with animals. This video is of an out-of-control elephant at a festival in India. Apparently, 5 elephants were lined up as part of a ritual, but then one of them simply decided to go for a stroll with its mahout on its back, which is what they call elephant trainers there. The animal attacked parked cars and motorcycles, even tipping over a rickshaw, which is a 2-wheeled cart pulled by a person and carries 2 passengers in the back. Besides the trainer, the elephant also had another person on its back, but nobody could regain control of the beast. Using its trunk, the animal seemed to take a special dislike to the yellow rickshaw, tossing it around until it got tired and walked away. Go figure, right? Maybe it was just having a bad day. One day, on a news broadcast in the United States, it was humorously reported that a giraffe attacked a group of tourists during a safari. A safari, which is a trip to observe animals, should be peaceful, but this giraffe was in a bad mood and didn't want anyone nearby. It decided to run after the jeep where the tourists were. When the giraffe caught up to the vehicle, it began bumping against the side of the jeep. Even though it was all reported with a lighthearted tone on TV, the car did suffer some damage from the encounter with the giraffe. Later, a reporter interviewed one of the tourists and asked, "On a safari, you might fear being attacked by a lion, tiger, or bear. But did you ever worry about being attacked by a giraffe?" The tourist answered, "The animal was crazy." Some people were inside a car, enjoying the ride and watching wild animals, including zebras. The driver stopped at one point, and the woman in the passenger seat was eating and chatting excitedly with the others, until a hungry zebra decided to attack through the window and bit the woman's left shoulder. The young woman screamed at the surprise attack. Maybe the zebra just wanted what she was eating, but it ended up biting the passenger. In the end, the woman was left not knowing whether to laugh or cry. I guess the zebra just wanted a snack.
I have crumbs. Bit my shoulder, oh my gosh!
But believe it or not, zebras can indeed attack humans. They can be hostile and aggressive in some cases, and on top of that, are quite hard to domesticate. So next time you're watching a zebra, it's best to keep your food far away. Of course, we couldn't leave out an Australian animal from our list, right? An amateur wildlife photographer named Ricky Mackenzie was exploring the country when he came across a lizard on a dirt road. And what did he do? He decided to get closer, and he was even barefoot. At the time, he was 18 years old, so he was a bit naive. And look, he just wanted to give the little creature a helping hand and move it to a safer spot. But what happened? The lizard decided to chase him like a madman. In the footage, you can see Ricky backing away, laughing and trying to escape the tiny predator. The worst part is that the lizard climbed up his leg and he had to pull it back down to the dirt road. After that, Ricky didn't film what happened next, but he said the lizard finally walked away. A woman in a green dress, keep that detail in mind, was out for a stroll until she was captivated by the beauty of a peacock and decided to pose next to it, probably for a photo. She sat on a stone wall, but the peacock wasn't in the mood for pictures, so it hopped off the wall and started pecking at the woman, showing its fiercer side. The woman ran away, laughing, but the peacock got the upper hand. The funniest part is that the woman's dress and the peacock's colors matched really well, and it would have been a gorgeous photo if the peacock hadn't been so stressed out. For our final video, some tourists at Yellowstone National Park in the United States had an unfriendly encounter with a bear family, including 3 cubs. The group of tourists in front ran away, while others, of course, stayed there recording the scene. Some even took shelter in the cars, but the bears didn't seem too aggressive. They looked more lost, trying to find their way. It's worth noting that Yellowstone is famous for having plenty of brown bears. There are at least 700 of them around there. Whoever visits the park knows that the risk of such an encounter is real, so the best thing to do is keep your distance. Then again, tourists filming and trying to capture everything on video is something that will always happen. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this.